Giant Size Superheroes featuring Spider Man, Issue 1. Fantastic first issue. Midnight means the Man Wolf and Morbius the Living Vampire. Bonus, a ghoulish gallery of Spidey's most fiendish foes. Stan Lee presents The Amazing Spider Man. Man Wolf at Midnight. It's him, Spider Man. Why won't he leave me alone? Why won't he let me forget this horrible nightmare? Chapter 1. What's wrong, John? You look so. Oh, that's Spider Man, isn't it? I wonder what he's doing here. He probably is just looking for someone to rob, Christine. I wish I could believe that. But how can I? How can I? When Spider Man is one of the two people on Earth who know my secret. Darling, do you mind if we go now? I seem to have lost my appetite. I can see that, John Jameson. You're as pale as the proverbial white sheet. One thing I don't need is a sick fiance. It's this flu virus going around. I'll be okay tomorrow. Another lie, John. How many lies will you have to tell her to keep her from learning the truth? What would your fiance do if she found out her lover is the man wolf? And suddenly it all comes flooding back. The madness he's tried so hard to forget. A madness which can never be forgotten. For perhaps the thousandth time, he remembers that terrible night when he almost killed his fiancée, and he was stopped only by the intervention of Spider Man. Christine was in a state of shock. She never recalled that nightmarish battle, but John Jameson did and does. The moonstone which caused him to become half man, half wolf is gone now, but the memory of the horror it brought still remains, and still haunts John Jameson's every waking hour. I better get you a taxi, sweetheart. Right now, I feel like walking a while, okay? All right, John, but please take care of yourself. I worry you, you know? Sure, honey. I know. Alone now, he walks in silence through the darkened streets. Once he was an astronaut, trained to probe the mysteries of the unknown. Now he wants only to forget the unknown, something which will be denied him this evening, and perhaps for all time. The pain is coming back, but that's impossible. I don't have the moonstone anymore. Without it, there's no curse. Or is there? Lord, no, don't let it start again. Please, don't let it happen again. Meanwhile, several blocks across town. Hoo ha, just what I've been looking for. Crooks escaping from that jewelry store. The way this town has been sleeping lately, I haven't gotten my quota of photos for the Daily Bugle, so it's web slinging time. Great, we spend weeks setting up this snatch, and then some jerk in leotards has to ruin everything. Look, fella, when you came into this business, you accepted certain risks. One of them is the risk of being caught, or did you really believe it'd be all sweetness and light? 6 seconds later. Sure, I bought the game, pal. All the risks, the hang ups. But I never figured on you and all the rest of you super goons. You guys are special. We'd ought to have a chance against you. Does that give you some kind of thrill? I mean, what's in it for you? A cop I can understand. He's paid to bring us down. But what about you, punk? What about you? It's a question that goes unanswered, though not unheeded, as our colorfully costumed hero swings across town, finally reaching the Daily Bugle, where he changes to Peter Parker. He himself wonders, why does he go after penny ante crooks anyway? Good evening, Fred. Anyone still upstairs? Joe Robertson, I think. He's one city editor who burns his candle at both ends. Shortly. Well, hello, Mr. Parker. I was wondering when we'd see you again. I was just leaving. Got anything hot? A few pics of Spider Man grabbing a group of jewel thieves. Otherwise, nothing. You know how it is, Robbie. Manhattan's been pretty quiet these past few days. Don't I know it, son? Say, come on back to my office a minute. I've got something interesting to show you. This. The wire service sent us these prints a couple of hours ago. It seems there have been some strange homicides occurring along the eastern seaboard. in a pattern that apparently leads toward New York. Far out, what's the murderer's MO? See for yourself, Peter. Every victim was discovered drained completely of blood and possessing two small puncture wounds on the neck, as though they'd each been bitten by a large animal. Pretty grisly, huh? And that's not all, Peter. An amateur photographer in Jersey City managed to snap a picture of a man leaving the scene of one murder. This man, recognize him? You wouldn't, of course. Few people would. He's changed so much. I met him once during a medical convention I covered when I was a reporter years ago. His name is Michael Morbius, and according to all reliable reports, he died 13 months ago at sea. Morbius was a brilliant research scientist, Peter. He specialized in diseases of the blood, and rumor has it he was dying of such a disease himself. As I say, he disappeared a year ago and was presumed dead. You can imagine what a story it'll make if he turns out to be alive. And a murderer. What do you want me to do, Robbie? But before the Daily Bugle's quiet spoken city editor can reply, I thought I heard voices out here. If it isn't Peter Parker, my own favorite photographer. Uh-oh, my own favorite publisher, J. Jonah Jameson. I'm in for it now. However, much to his surprise, my boy, I just want you to know I've always thought the world of you. If there's anything you want, anything at all, just let me know. Promise you'll do that, Peter? Promise? Sure, JJJ, anything you say. That's a boy. Keep up the good work, Peter. I'm behind you 1,000%. Thanks, I think. What's with Jameson, Robbie? He's acting like a human being. Then you haven't heard, Peter. I thought Betty Brant would have phoned you about it. You've been nominated for Photographer of the Year. It may be premature, but congratulations, son. You've earned it. Let's deal with that bit of news later. For now, we have other concerns. Chiefly, Jonah Jameson's son, who, to say the least, is acting a little strangely. Pain pounding through my skull. I can barely think. Coffee. Maybe some coffee will clear my head. Hey, bub, can't you read? The sign on the door says closed. Look, you've got to help me. I need some coffee. I need it badly. It's a matter of life and... Bub, I don't care if it's a national emergency. 9 o'clock comes, I go home, you dig? Say, what is this? Your hair is turning some kind of white. You're changing. Yes, John Jameson is changing, has changed into the monster called Man-Wolf, and the hapless waitress's reaction is strong and immediate. Briefly, she screams. Like the beast he resembles, the Man-Wolf flees through the night, a gaunt, haunted figure padding through the gutters and back alleys of the city. But unlike that beast, the Man-Wolf's flight seems to have a goal. In fact, he seems uncannily drawn through the darkness, down one street, across an avenue, up a deserted lane, until at last he comes here. Here to an ancient building in Manhattan's West Side warehouse district, a lonely sentinel overlooking the waterfront, but scant yards from the Hudson River. He enters, pauses, sniffs, the scent is strange. Stranger still is that which brought him here. For the Man-Wolf doesn't know why he's come to this place. It's as though some alien power has summoned him, and this makes the Man-Wolf angry. And angry, he turns as he scents something behind him. Something or someone. Welcome, John Jameson. Don't look behind you, for I'm no longer there. Rather, I'm here. Confused? Excellent. That's precisely the way I want you, my friend. Now, glance above you, Man-Wolf. Glance above and meet your own master. Together we will make a formidable team, my lupine friend. You, the menacing Man-Wolf, and I, Michael Morbius, the living vampire. And if you haven't guessed by now, the title of this chapter has got to be Duel of the Demon Duo, or something a good deal like it. Chapter 2. For several moments, nothing happens. The Man-Wolf stands, staring a low growl rumbling in his throat. Then suddenly he lunges, the growl a roaring snarl, his fangs flashing in the yellow light. It's an attack easily avoided, though not without results. So apparently my control is not absolute. Very well, Man-Wolf, I'll strengthen that control. and lock you more firmly into my will till you have no choice but to aid me in my quest. Again, the man wolf lunges, and again Morbius avoids that lunge, his body almost floating away, his weight negligible because of his hollow bones. Thwack, which allows him to swing behind the unwary beast and strike with a force denied normal men. Now, John Jameson, you and your accursed moonstone will be reunited, and then we shall see who commands and who obeys. For with that stone around your hairy neck once more, and its radiation weakening the very fabric of your soul, there will be time at last for other things. I've misjudged you, Manwolf. You recovered more quickly than I'd expected. Still, if my mastery over you is to be complete, there is something I must do, and do it I shall. First, by putting distance between us, then by closing that distance before your wolf's brain can react, and thus striking, as only Morbius can. Done! Your blood is mine, man wolf. And so, for the next few hours, you'll sleep, and when you wake this next evening, your mind will no longer be your own. You will no longer in control. You shall be mine, John Jameson, and with your unwitting aid, Morbius will succeed in this, his most considered plan. We'll have to wait a while to learn just what the plan is. Right now, there's a member of our cast we should catch up on, moving ahead to the following morning. Our very own favorite web slinger come part-time photographer and full-time college student, Peter Parker. So, Morbius is back in town, is he? That's terrific. This seems to be my week for return baddies. What with the Molten Man and Doc Ock, it's enough to get a fella down. And on top of all that, there's this other thing. What the crook I caught last night said to me. Do I play Spider-Man for thrills? Is that all? Is that all it means? If it is, then I'm one very sick superhero. Abruptly, Peter's ponderings are interrupted as, Hey, Pete, what's happening? We've been scouting the campus for you for hours, handsome. Got a moment for your pals? Not right now, Mary Jane. I'm late for Professor Thompson's class as it is. Huh? Hey, Tiger, are you in a cloud or something? You've got his class on Mondays, and today is Tuesday, or have I been missing something? Sorry, MJ, guess I am a little wiped out. It's just that I've got a few things on my mind, something I've got to make sense of for myself, okay? Sure, handsome. We just wanted to know if you were doing anything this weekend. No plans, why? We're figuring on a bunch of us going out together. Okay by you, Parker? No sweat, Flash. Fun's my middle name. There goes one very strange college student, Miss Watson. I never understood what you see in him. What's to see, Flash? He's just your normal, nice guy. That's all, I think. Sunset, and as this day too slides into a damp Manhattan evening, we return to the West Side warehouse we encountered earlier, where we find things more or less unchanged, since Michael Morbius is not what one would call a daytime person. Awake at last, eh, John Jameson? Good. It's time we talked. You know my name, how? Come, my friend. I'm not an idiot. It was a small matter to deduce the facts of your case from the evidence at hand. I know everything, which is why I've provided you with your protective uniform to shield the moon's more potent rays. You must have stolen it from my apartment. But the moonstone, where could you have gotten that? That was simplicity itself, dear boy. As I say, I diagnosed your problem at once. That first day when I read of your accident in your father's newspaper, I was in the South at the time. I came north immediately. I'm a scientist, Jameson. I recognize the symptoms of your affliction. A theoretical disease dismissed by the orthodox fools who call themselves doctors. I found a drunken sot who'd witnessed your battle with Spider Man. You told me how the wall crawler had torn off the gem around your neck and thrown it into the East River, finding it was one bit of luck in the entire operation. But using it was not. I followed you, John, everywhere you went. I was but a step behind you with the moonstone. Its radiation affected you slowly but surely, until at last you transformed to become my slave. But why, Morbius? Why'd you do this to me? For a most selfish reason, I admit. To save my life. Your life? What about mine, Morbius? Don't you realize what you've done? You've doomed me. These bites, this collar. Necessary, Jameson. We are both afflicted, you and I, but mine is the more horrible affliction. You can never know the nightmare of being a vampire, my friend. It's a nightmare I must end or go mad. I've got another nightmare for you, Morbius. The change, it's beginning now. So it does. And as the moon lifts over the New York skyline, John Jameson experiences anew his terrible metamorphosis into the man wolf. And when the moment is past, come, man wolf, we leave now, each to attend our separate task. There is a college campus we must visit, where we will have our meeting with destiny. That's all for part two, folks. For the third chapter of the story, kindly flip to the following page. It's been a long day for Peter Parker, and though the day is not over, our harried hero's duties sadly are not. I haven't been able to get my mind off Morbius since last night. I keep wondering, why has he come back to New York? It doesn't make any sense. I beat him to a standstill the last time we... Oh no, no. When Strikes the Vampire, Chapter 3. It's Morbius and the Man-Wolf. I don't know how or why, but they're a team. But what do they want here? And how can I stop them from getting it? Mr. Parker, it looks like it's going to be one of those long nights. Wait a second, it just hit me. This is what the crime fighting shtick is all about. Not grabbing a few small time hoods so I can get some photos for JJJ, but stopping real menaces. Characters too dangerous for a cop to handle, too powerful, too deadly. This is what I should be doing. This is what my spider powers are for. It's taken me time to figure that out, and now that I have, I wonder why it didn't occur to me before. Guess I'll just have to puzzle that one out later. Heads up, Harry. You and I have got business to finish. And after I've handled you, it'll be Morbius's turn. Imbecile. If you acted exactly as I expected, you're nothing but putty in the hands of Morbius. Whoops, feeling a little frisky today, aren't we, Blinky? Well, that's okay with me, provided you don't get too frisky. And to make certain you don't, I'll just shoot a little webbing to, Mist. Uh-oh, I've made a bad mistake. I've been too confident. I forgot I'm not dealing with a slightly psycho John Jameson, but with a real live werewolf. And if I'm not incredibly lucky, that could turn out to be the last mistake I'll ever make. The last swipe stunned me. Got to get my bearings, pull myself together before it's too late. Like a cat twisting in midair, Spidey suddenly reflexively jerks his feet around, braces himself, and lands as only a human spider can. But before he can regain his footing, really hostile, aren't you? I wish I knew why you and Morbius were here. Maybe that'd give me an idea how to play the scene. Because right now, the only thing I'm sure of is that you want me dead. I'm sorry, pal, but that's one thing I can't give you, okay? I knew you'd understand. It's no use. Every time I throw him, he pops right back up again. If only I could figure this thing out, learn how Jameson found that moonstone of his, and why. There are just too many unanswered questions. And if I want to last till morning, I'd better start finding out the answers. Yoo-hoo, handsome, over here. What's the matter? Don't you want to play anymore? That's the boy. Keep leaping before you look, and this mess will be over in no time. For an instant, the man-wolf freezes. Suddenly, he's alone in the clearing. Alone, yet not alone, for his sensitive nostrils scent his foe, so very near him, yet seemingly invisible. Slowly, the man-wolf's rage builds, and then, abruptly, So there you are. I was worried I'd lost you. Had enough, Blinky? Or are you ready for something really sticky? I thought so. Come right ahead, Wolfie. Have I got a surprise for you? So much for you, Man Wolf. My webbing will hold you for at least an hour. In the meantime, I'll check out that buddy of yours. Since I've got a not too original hunch that Morbius is the Joker behind this evening's fun and games, I've also got a hunch where I'll be able to find him. Right here in the medical lab, in the Blood Research Center. The last time Morbius and I fought, he was trying to kidnap one of the professors, an old colleague of his who'd specialized in hematology. But that professor's gone, which means he'll be after you, Dr. Ward. You are Dr. Harold Ward, head of hematological research, aren't you? What? My goodness, you're that spider fellow, the one in the newspapers. I could just be your fairy godmother, Doc. Are you alone? Quite. Tell me, sir, have you ever heard of a man named Michael Morbius? And while you're answering that, just what is it you're working on here? I have heard of Michael, yes, and as for my project, it's quite simple. Every day people die from leukemia, a cancer of the blood. I've developed a process to completely replace a person's blood. It's only experimental, of course, but there's a promise that it will. Wait, where are you going? If Morbius isn't here, I've got no business being here either, sir. So if you'll excuse me, there's something else I should attend to before spinning my way home. But when our web slinging hero completes his cross campus journey, he finds the Manwolf's gone. Now, that's weird. My webbings is strong enough to hold even him, unless he had help, unless someone wanted the Manwolf free and wanted me hunting him. Maybe I'll do just that, but not how that someone expects, or when. And so, an hour later, as the last straggling students leave their ivory towers, in one particular tower, the lights still burn and a man still works until, "Good evening, Professor Ward. I've been anticipating this moment for some time." "What? Who?" "The name is Morbius, Professor Ward. I'm quite an admirer of yours, a true student of your work. You and I are going to have a little discussion about that work, and I assure you we'll be quite undisturbed." "But we heard you were dead. Where in heaven's name have you been, man? And what do you want from me?" "I've been in hell, Professor Ward, and I've come to you to release me." "Sorry, Morbius, but the kind of release you need doesn't come from biology professors." "Oh, it isn't possible." "Ah, this day and age, Morb, old chum, anything is possible." "Okay, Professor, you better split. I've a hunch Morb and I will be cutting up a bit in the next few minutes. And this place won't be safe for bystanders. Dig? Completely. Just be careful. The equipment in this room is irreplaceable. Without it, I'll be set back 2 years. Oh, I'll be careful, Professor. It's Morbius I'm worried about, judging by the way he's tearing my webbing like tissue paper. I've got a feeling he's real mad. Blow follows blow, hammer hard fist strikes steely jaw, and still the fight continues. A raging, almost insane battle that builds and builds until suddenly, like a voice crying from the depths of a bottomless pit, "The equipment! You fool! You've destroyed it." Ward said that without it his experiment was useless, and without his experiment, his device to totally exchange blood from one man to another, Ward is useless to me. You caused me to destroy what might have been my last chance, Spider-Man. Someday I'll punish you for that. Someday I'll make you suffer as I have suffered. But that day must wait. To stay here longer would be pointless. You've won this round, Webslinger, despite my plan, despite my most careful precautions to distract you. Next time you may not be so lucky. Next time your opposition could cost you your soul. Meanwhile, looks like we did it, Professor. He believed you, the entire story about the equipment, everything. Yep, with any luck, he'll never find out about our little lie. That the stuff we smashed up was only spare parts of your device. Keep it under your hat a while, Professor. I understand, my friend. God go with you. And with you, Professor. You're all right. Epilogue. A half hour later, and in another part of the city, the Daily Bugle's penurious publisher receives an unexpected visitor as, "Hi, JJJ, mind if I drop in? Spider Man, you got a lot of nerve coming here. It did take guts, I've got to admit. I'm looking for your son, Jameson. I've got reason to believe he's turned into the man wolf again. Listen to me, you wall crawling public menace. You can take your reasons and your beliefs and you can get out of here. John's been with me all night. What do you say to that, punk? Only this, Jameson. Either I've made a terrible mistake and I'm sorry, or you're a bigger fool than I ever thought you were. And you're the one who's going to be sorry, you and your son." J. Jonas Jameson doesn't answer. He simply stares, waiting for Spider Man to vanish from view. And then he walks softly to a locked door, opens it, and enters a darkened room. "He's gone, John. Are you all right?" John Jameson remains silent, sleeping the sleep of the damned. For now, the moon is down. For today, his curse is over. But tomorrow? Heaven help them both. What about tomorrow? Epilogue 2, a week later. "Peter, how about that award? I'm sorry, but it seems my congratulations were premature." Forget it, Robbie. It's not important. I've got enough to be happy about. Because you see, I'm beginning to realize, next to some people's problems, my life is charmed. And a regular picnic, if you know what I mean. Tune in again next issue, gang, when we feature a way out thriller we call The Night They Tore Old New York Down. See you then. The end. Presenting a righteous rogues gallery of Spider Man's most fiendish foes. That's right, friends and neighbors, just as we are doing in Giant Size Superstars #1, starring the fabulous FF. Each issue of Giant Size Superheroes is going to feature pulsating pinups of the supervillains you love to hate. The following few illos first appeared in Spider Man Annual #1, 1964, but we'll soon be adding nefarious newies to the list. Keep 'em, collect 'em, but don't turn your back on 'em. Now, start trucking, Webophile. A gallery of Spider Man's most famous foes. The burglar first appeared in Amazing Fantasy August 15, Amazing Fantasy 15 in August. This unnamed thief is the man responsible for Spider Man's vow to use his great powers to combat crime. For it was this armed thug who caused the death of Peter Parker's beloved Ben Parker. One fatal, cowardly shot, one moment of stark tragedy, and a legend was born. The Chameleon first appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man #1 in March. A new era in comicdom was born with the introduction of the Chameleon. The title Amazing Fantasy was changed to The Amazing Spider-Man, and Spidey fought his first colorful superfoe. The Vulture from Amazing Spider-Man 2 in May. Fandom will never forget the first battle between the Vulture and Spider-Man. High above the towering skyscrapers, they fought the mysterious winged menace and the teenage crime fighter who had never yet battled so dangerous, so powerful a foe. The Terrible Tinkerer first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man #2 in May. This strange foe is chiefly to be remembered because of the fact that he was the first alien menace Spidey ever fought. Dr. Octopus first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man #3 in July. Once he was one of the nation's leading atomic scientists, using his ingenious artificial arms to form experiments with radiation. A freak accident made them responsive to his will, and presto, instant supervillain. The Sandman first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man #4, September. Possibly one of the most truly original, truly unique villains in the Marvel Age of Comics. Flint Marko had spent a large portion of his life in prison. Habitual offender, he was known as one of the most incorrigible prisoners at many of the nation's maximum security jails. But one night, during an attempted escape, he hid on a beach near the scene of an atomic test explosion. There, by some incredible accident, the molecules of his body merged with the sand under his feet, and his body took on the qualities of the sand itself.